Welcome back to part 2. Let's jump right in. Right now, I'm just going around and adding a 1/2 inch seam allowance to all of my outside seams. After that, I cut it out. Now we're working on the sleeve. You make your line about as long as your sleeve is, and then you mark your sleeve cap 5 inches down. You half your width of your sleeve to 5.5, mark a line, and then because our allowance was 16 inches for the armhole, we're going 8 inches on either side. I picked 4 and 4, 1 concave, 1 convex. Do the same to the other side. Then mark your bottom. Once again, split in half. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 5 on each side. And then I take it straight on down. I decided that I wanted it just a little bit longer because I hate short sleeves. And then I add my seam allowance and cut it out. I'm making the neck hole. I wanted it to be 3 inches high, folded over equals 6, plus 0.5 is my seam allowance on either side equals 7. So I need to be 7 inches high if I want a 3-inch turtleneck. And then I'm just going around. I had to tape 2 pieces together because I try and conserve. And I'm making it 14 because 1/2 inch either side, 14 by 7. And then I'm showing you how I line up the grain for the rib knit to the center line of my pattern. And then I'm going around cutting it out. I took some time to line it up. I didn't want to be too close to the selvage. It was a little sun bleached. I wasn't real happy with that. So I took my time lining it up. After it's all cut out, I have an interesting way of doing the front and the back on the same pattern without having to cut out the neck hole. I lift the piece underneath and then I just position for the seam allowance and cut it that way. It's the joy of a rotary cutter. Careful if you get a rotary cutter, they can be mean. And sometimes, because you don't want to cut too much, you can always cut a little bit more. There we go. And ta-da, you got both sides. Now it's time to cut out the sleeve. Same idea with the rib knit. You want to make sure that your center line is going in line with the ribs on the knitting, or pattern for that matter, if that's what you're doing. You can use any knit material, really, as long as you, I'm cutting out the neck now. I didn't position that one real good. I was trying to best conserve my material. By the time I had arranged it, I forgot that I was recording and I just cut up in the corner there. We're on to pinning now. We've taken the 2 body pieces front and back. We're going to pin them together so that the right sides are together, and we're going to pin along. Just pin, 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 and I'll show you exactly how to get the stretch stitch on the machine. But just work making sure that your edges line up, because as long as you do that, it's all going to be good. See, I got both sides pinned there. There we go. That's a stretch stitch. That little lightning bolty one that's number 14. There, yes. That's how you do it on a sewing machine. What I'm doing right now is I'm using a serger, because by the time I got this far in the video, I was starting to get a little lazy and frustrated. So, yeah, this can be a little confusing. You want to open up the body after you've done the shoulder seams, and trust me, after you get used to it, this is the easiest way to do sleeves. What you're going to do is you're going to center line the sleeve cap to the seam on the body, and you line that up, and then you just either pin or clip along the edge. Oh yeah, I trimmed off a little bit right there. I wasn't happy with the shape. Zing, and gone. Yes, and then we just line it up center, pin all the way across. You're going to love how this